Level 1. You wake to a silence that keeps time. The city is a barcode of shadows and wind. Your breath fogs in the empty sunlight. There is no one to argue with the radio, no one to borrow coffee from. Only the slow, honest geometry of things left behind. You stand in the doorway and check the horizon. You name the buildings like anchors. You mark the direction of the river with your thumb. Small chores become prayer. You find a notebook. You write three things: water, shelter, a map of footsteps. You do them because they are possible. You make decisions for tomorrow as if you owe them to someone. You owe them to yourself. You are rudimentary and capable. You learn to move like the place expects you to listen. Every creak holds a reason. Every shadow suggests caution. You eat carefully. You sleep lightly. You keep the lighter in your pocket like a talisman, not for magic, for choices. A spark is an argument with darkness. You learn to value options above comfort. You cultivate breaths between panic and action. You learn to wait. You learn the weight of a quiet morning. Level 2, you secure shelter. A broken bank vault is a cathedral of steel. A grocery store is a lesson in abundance and hazards. You pick a place on the edge of town, close enough to scavenge, far enough to avoid collapse. You seal windows with boards. You hang a tarp like a banner. Shelter is not luxury, it is a rhythm. You collect a list: clean water sources, fire method, a safe place to sleep. You rig a rain catcher from gutters and a tarp. You learn which plants bleed water when you squeeze them. You store water in clean containers. Rotate it, smell it. You learn to read and respect corrosion. You fix small things before they fail. You make a stove out of bricks and metal. You keep fuel for weeks, not for moments. You build redundant systems. A second way to light a fire. A second way to carry water. Redundancy is patience made physical. You practice repairs until they are muscle memory. Every knot you tie is a small promise. Every patched hole is a boundary you will not cross. Level 3, food is a negotiation. You walk through aisles of half-edible memories. Canned goods become time capsules. Fresh food is scarce and holy. You learn to forage beyond labels. You study leaves by the river. You learn what stings and what sings. You trap with patience, not cruelty, efficiency. You preserve with salt, smoke, and drying. You build a root cellar in the shade. You plant a small garden beside the ruins. You plant what brings you joy to cook: basil, beans, potatoes. You keep seeds in a tin. You label them with dates. You learn to make broth from bones and patience. You savor textures again: crisp, chewy, warm. You ration by flavor and need. You cook like stories are a rare spice. You learn to share with yourself. There is a ritual to eating alone. You set a plate. You listen to your chewing. Mealtime anchors the day. Level 4, loneliness is a landscape you cross every morning. It is the thing that can erode skill into despair. You make rituals to hold it back. You write name tags for places. You tape a map of the city on your wall. You read the map each night and trace routes with your finger. You talk aloud to practice conversation. You keep a radio tuned to static to listen for voices that might be real. You collect books and make reading the meal of the mind. You memorize passages that warm you. You keep photos in a shoebox. You speak to them like reminders of manners. You celebrate small victories loudly. A preserved can, a fixed door, a bird that returns. You end your day with gratitude lists. They are not magic, just scaffolding. They hold you upright when the seasons bruise you. You allow yourself to feel fear without letting it command. You let sadness be a guest, not the landlord. You acknowledge loss and make room for new small loves. Level 5, curiosity becomes your real resource. It is how you turn ruins into workshops. You experiment, fail, fix, and try again. You coax electricity from abandoned batteries. You learn to diagnose a leaking pump by sound. You invent tools from spoons, cables, and hope. You keep a workshop with labels and lights. You catalog failures like trophies. You keep a log. You write what worked and what didn't. Level 6, you become a storyteller. Stories are maps for someone who will follow. You create markers for the road. You leave notes on lampposts. You mark caches with discrete signs. You tape instructions to boxes of tools. You practice teaching how to start a fire, how to treat a cut, how to find water. You conserve simplicity. The clearest instruction is the most valuable. You plan for a person who is tired and cold. Make it easy for them to understand. Make it hopeful. Hope is a compass. Level 7, the secret is not a gear or a trick. It is an attitude. The secret is that survival is a practice of rebuilding humanity, not just bones and roofs. You carry a ledger of habits. Observe, preserve, share. Teach, repeat. You are patient with the world because it is patient with you. You give away knowledge like seeds. When you find someone, you don't hoard answers. You offer them warmth and instructions. You listen more than you speak. Protect stories more than supplies. You keep a record of kindnesses done. You mark each one with a pebble. When the pebbles run out, you start again. This is the hidden method. Physical skill buys you days. Generosity multiplies them. You leave the lighter in the same place. You guard the map's corner. You hum the same tune. You become the kind of person you would trust alone. You become a place of return. Clear instruction on a table. A tin of seeds labeled with next year's date. A carved arrow pointing to water. Keep going. It is not a cheer, it is a contract. You sign it with a smudge of ash. Before you go, I have one question. If you woke up tomorrow and found yourself completely alone, what would be the very first thing you'd do? Leave your answer in the comments. I'd genuinely like to read it. And if you enjoy thought experiments, survival stories, and ideas that make you see the world differently, subscribe and join us for the next journey. Until then, keep going.